everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Ron Tucker. Welcome to my show. It's called At Ron's Talking, and obviously I am your host, Ron Tucker. I appreciate all the people who've been coming to my channel and subscribing lately. It's a nice feeling to know that I guess I'm doing something right. Bringing people in to the house and trying to bring the truth and the good news, sometimes bad news, but we got to talk about it because there are things that need to be said, and I'm going to say those things. So there you have it. I'd be remiss though in not introducing my main guy up here, Mr. the one and only Donald Duck Clown. Okay, so he can get off my collar because he's always talking about I don't treat him with respect and I don't introduce him properly like he feels like he should deserve the right type of intro. So is that cool, D? You good? All right. Fist bump to you, even though your arms are short. So, folks, we're in crazy times right now, obviously, with this mad maniac president we got. And I've got some questions tonight, got some things to go over. Had a few people comment to me and tell me that they thought I was kind of, well, one guy said that he didn't think I was too bright, or my IQ level was kind of low. I did respond to that guy, but I forgot what I told him. But I believe what I should have told him was, before you start shooting at me, aren't you sure you should be talking to Trump? Because he's the one that's underwater in the polls, and he's the one that everybody's protesting about. Not me. I'm just a guy that's underground and bringing the news as I see it, the facts, the way they fall. And then another guy today, him and another guy got upset because somebody gave me some props for one of my shorts. And this guy just, well, he really got mad because he didn't like my poem I wrote. And it was really a song, my rendition of the Battle Hymn of the Republic towards Trump. And this guy threw one back at me, and he tried to rhyme a little bit to counter mine, but had to check him real quick. I haven't heard from him since, but hey, he might be out there still chirping. But honestly, I don't really have a lot of time for all that, because what I'm trying to do is just merely tell the truth and bring the facts. And I'm bipartisan when it comes to telling the truth and the facts, because to me, there's no middle ground. I don't believe in alternative facts. And when somebody does something wrong, no matter what their political affiliation is, it's my duty, not so much my responsibility, maybe so, but I'm gonna call it out. It's that simple. So anyway, let me get down to the nitty gritty of why I'm talking to you folks tonight. I got questions. Donald the Clown got a few questions, so we're gonna try to start it off the right way. Now, there's some interesting things that have been happening, obviously, with things like the Signalgate scandal and J.D. Vance, Trump's VP, questioned whether or not Trump understood what the hell he was doing by even authorizing the strike. Now, I'm not one of those people that tries to start things, you know what I mean? But when your VP kind of undermines you somewhat, Trump wouldn't understand when he was being undermined or not. I mean, his IQ level's not that great either. So it probably went over his head because he's probably too busy thinking about what's the next item or products he's going to sell at the White House. But you got to watch JD, and if Trump got any kind of sense, he better keep his eye on his boy, because I know JD ain't just sitting back playing third fiddle, because you know who's second in command, without scheming. JD plotting for the future. You can believe that, okay? Now, I remember that Trump, he said, and it kind of goes to my personal feelings, that the election was rigged. when he told a bunch of Christians that they only had to vote one time only, and it's already fixed. So they won't have to vote again. Now, why would a man say something like that during an election? Also, Trump congratulated and was patting Elon Musk on the back during the election campaign, right near the end of it, by talking about how Elon went to Philadelphia and worked there for about 2 months and really knows all about those voting machines and those computers, and he did a hell of a job and all this kind of stuff, right out in the open. And I won by a landslide. When comments like that are made right near the end of an election run, you would think that would cause some people in authority to take a look at it. Here we are still with the maniac who's run amok. Y'all looked at the stock market lately? I ain't even gonna go into it because I think most of y'all who can read know. So, I mean, it's just amazing the situation we're in right now all over the world. It's like, how do you really explain it? And when you try to explain it rationally, and especially to people who believe that Trump is the second coming, it's just almost, well, it really is futile. But I'm going to veer off into a different area about how much Trump really cares about our troops. And this has been brought up before in the past in a different way, and it didn't really matter because he got elected anyway. But just to show you how much Trump loves the soldiers, he claims he didn't know nothing about the soldiers, those 4 soldiers that were missing over in Lithuania. He told the reporters that he hadn't been briefed. So those 4 soldiers who were killed in a training accident in Lithuania, they were given a ceremony that was hosted by the president. Not our president, the president of Lithuania. Because see, our fat ass president with his orange ignorant ass, this buffoon was too busy for such a trivial affair like honoring our fallen soldiers, because he was enjoying himself too much at a live tournament, at one of his golf resorts. Now, I bet you he'll say he wasn't briefed on that either. And when the soldiers' bodies were flown back to Dover Air Force Base, well, he didn't show up for that either. Now, if Joe Biden had done something like that, or even Barack Obama, or really any president, but especially those 2 I just mentioned, they'd be the first 1 or 2 presidents convicted by a Senate and removed from office. I have no doubt in my mind. See, old Captain Bone Spurs, he can care less about some more of those suckers and losers, who lost their lives. Can you imagine that though, folks? The man didn't attend either ceremony, either event, didn't attend the ceremony over in Lithuania a week ago because he claimed he wasn't briefed. Didn't even show up to Dover Air Force Base to see the fallen soldiers return home in caskets. He was too busy trying to make that loot. That's all he was concerned with. So, oh, what? What'd you say? Oh. Okay. All right. I'll ask him. So Donald the Clown, he has a good question. Matter of fact, it's a great question. He said, wouldn't the Secretary of Defense or somebody brief old Captain Bone Spurs on the missing soldiers situation the first time? And if you bought Trump's first bunch of bullshit about why he didn't get any notice about it, he wasn't briefed, why didn't he attend their arrival, their bodies being flown in to Dover? He wasn't briefed again on that either. He claimed he wasn't briefed about Signalgate. So obviously he don't know shit, which we say all the time, but a lot of people don't want to believe us. My question is, who was supposed to be briefing him? I'm thinking this is the Secretary of Defense. I don't know exactly what the protocol is, but I would assume the Secretary of Defense would be in the loop somewhere. And if not, which aide or which person is in charge of giving him his, daily briefings? And you would think something like this would be on their agenda for daily briefings. Maybe President Elon Musk knows all of it. Somebody got to be in charge. So, now, I want to talk a little bit about Troutmouth Trump, who's supposed to be very, very, astute at running the country. He really is supposed to be a genius, and he's the man who wrote The Art of the Deal. Now, Trump's very familiar with the impeachment process. So he got on Twitter during Biden's presidency and said, if the Dow Jones drops by 1,000 points in 2 days, this should be grounds for the president to be impeached. So let's take a look at who had the largest Dow Jones drops during their term as president. Anybody want to take an educated guess who that person was? And still is. That should be, that little hint, that little last little drop should be enough for you to guess this one. Yeah, you got it right. Donald J. Trump. I think the J stands for jackass. He had the 7th largest Dow Jones drops in history. I know people ain't gonna believe what I'm saying, but here it is by the numbers. March 16th, 2020, 2,997.10 points. Number 2, March 12th, 2020. 2,352.60. 3, March 9th, 2020, 2,013.76 points. 4, this was in 6/11/20. And this was during the pandemic now. All 4 of these so far. We got 2,186.82. Number 5, these are recent, folks, like yesterday. This one is 1,679.39, 4325. Number 6, 311.20, 1,464.94. And last but not least, number 7, 1,338.46, March 18th, 2020. They all belong to the illustrious one. Can't make this stuff up. It's just facts, folks. They said the numbers don't lie, people do. Or people lie about the numbers. In Trump's case. Oh, we got a little breaking news here. Oh, Laura Loomer. She's back in town, back in Trump's ear again. She just met with Trump on Wednesday and advised Trump to get rid of his National Security Council staff right in front of the main man who runs the council. Oh, Michael, I don't know how I got your number in my phone, Waltz. And we know Trump loves him some Loomer. I'm going to leave it at that. And he loves some Laura Loomer. And said he listened to her advice. Like we didn't know. He can't stay away from these crazy crackpot conspiracy theorist people like Laura Loomer. And for some reason, I would say it, I think he got the hots for her. But I can't prove it conclusively. But I think there's something going on there. So I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there. Y'all take it around with you if you want. Speaking of deranged individuals now, his press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, the designated White House liar, now, she's been really making a strong run as the worst press secretary in history. And I guess it stands to reason since Trump has destroyed our economy in record time already. Miss Leavitt, it seems like she makes a conscious effort to top her lies every day, trying to defend Trump and his lawlessness. She stated on News Nation the other day, and she was asked a question about how this tariff deal and all these things that Trump's doing with our economy, how it's going to affect American people. And Caroline said, there's not going to be any pain for American companies or workers because their jobs are going to come back home. I'm not a Rhodes Scholar, but if their jobs are going to come back home, where did their jobs go in the first place? And when are they coming back? And when? And to whom? Riddle me that, Caroline. I don't think she's really crazy. She's just a craven liar who couldn't give a shit about what's happened to American people because her job is to lie for her boss. That's it. Ain't nothing complicated or elaborate about that. That's what she's paid to do. And whatever comes out of his gator mouth, she just regurgitates it and that's it. And then as soon as she's put on the spot, she recoils and is ready to hit back at somebody like a rattlesnake. I still maintain she ain't gonna last long. I give her, she probably to the end of this year, she'll be burnt out from all that lying, just like the rest of them, all of her predecessors. Ah, boy. Since everyone on the right believes the minute Joe Biden couldn't govern versus the convicted felon, let me give you a little report card on Biden's final, the way his card looked, it gives you a glimpse of what he really did while he was in office. Remember he was supposed to be so addled in the brain and everything. when Biden left, he created 16.6 million jobs through his administration. And remember, that includes that black lady that didn't nobody really want to ascend to the top rung because, you know, I ain't gonna go into all the different reasons. We know the drill. 14.1% of unemployment when Donald Khan left. Biden lowered it to 4.1% in December 2024, right before he left. Standard & Poor, the S&P, was at 3.768%. When Biden left, it was up at 5.996 in January 15. Dow Jones was at 30.814 on January 15, 2021. When Biden left, it was at 43.487%. Again, 43.487% when Biden left. Where you at, Don Khan? Where you at? Where's your report card? Right now, you get a resounding F- because you're incompetent and you don't know what the hell you're doing. And you're looking all over the landscape right now. These companies and these institutions, they are losing, they're hemorrhaging right now. At the 48 hours, they are bleeding like a hog, losing billions, close to trillions of lost capital. Just the whole, I saw it on TV before I came in here to do my video, and it was horrendous right now. Of course, Trump, and well, you know, Trump, he was hiding out on his golf cart. So he don't want to really be seen right now. He got to regroup and get his lives together to come back out probably tomorrow, or he most likely going to be on Truth Social tonight, burning his little fingers up, trying to spread some of his bullshit lies. But anyway, we know what to expect. But all his supporters are talking about, you know, y'all just need to wait and see. Just ride it out. It's going to be all right because we're going to come back bigger and stronger, make America great again. In the meantime, a lot of people who aren't millionaires or billionaires or half millionaires or even half of that, y'all can't give them no idea or no answer, nothing definitive of how long this slaughter is going to continue because you don't know. It's all speculative. Trump has been lying from the day he opened his mouth 8 years ago. And, you know, I'm just being sarcastic about it and being facetious because really he's been lying probably ever since he learned how to talk. But he's lied about everything up until this point. Go back to the border. You know the drill. Mexico going to pay for that border wall. Never happened. Trump talked about infrastructure for years. Never did a damn thing. We move along. I'm skipping over a whole lot of carnage. That's where he got his ass bounced out the first time. I'm skipping over a lot of stuff. But when it comes to the contemporary stuff that he's done or lied about, he don't want to talk about grocery prices. He don't want to talk about gasoline prices. He don't want to talk about prices in general of things that are high. And infrastructure, shit. He don't want to talk about none of that stuff. What he wants to talk about is buying Greenland and threatening Denmark and tariffing everybody, even fucking penguins. They ain't even got pockets. But he wants to debit them and tariff the hell out of them. And he probably expects them to pay up too. Hey, that man, you know what, folks? There'll be another time for me to rant because I think I've said enough right now. He's so pitiful and pathetic And he's got our country just all jacked up, and he still got people trying to defend his actions. Folks, we in for a ride, and I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to be out there marching in this so-called, I guess they call it the million-person march or whatever they call it. And it's not because of the pros and cons of both sides. I'm not going to do it anyway. But that's a subject that, I'm not going to really blame anybody if they're black, if they want to go out there and stand in solidarity with other people, if they're white people, Hispanics, whatever. But I tend to agree with the premise from a lot of black people that we should sit, whatever this thing is going to be about tomorrow, should sit it out this time, because we think we've done enough of marching for rights and stuff like that. The majority of white folks put this this super idiot in office. So I want to see how y'all respond out there in the streets and protest. Because see, y'all signed up for this, and this is what you got. So I'm going to sign off. Donald the Clown's going to sign off with me. And all I can say, folks, is that we just got to keep on fighting, keep on standing up for everything that's right, and try to figure out a way to get this lawless president out of our hair once and for all. Thanks, everybody, for subscribing. I hope I get more to come. And I wish all of y'all success, be safe, and me and my boy will talk to y'all again. Bye.